Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie, Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. And this one is kind of sad and scary. They are ruining one of America's finest institutions with an update. And I will say this, that everybody listening, when you think of an institution, you might go, well, it doesn't affect me. No, this one affects you. It's something everybody listening, every single person has been a part of, has used this institution, has been a lot of joy. Incredible amounts of joy and bonding has happened with this, and now it's going to lead to possibly death and despair. And I'm not overextending here when I say something like that. So, Kenzie, what would you think of a blanket statement on one of America's finest institutions is being ruined by a change in the way they do things?
I am going to assume there's some type of devastating update to laser tag.
Wow. Interesting.
Maybe because of the guns. They're like, COVID, we found out where it came from. It was the guns and laser tag.
Wow. I guess laser tag probably closed down during COVID. Just like bars, restaurants.
They came for laser tag too.
They probably did. Listen, I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at laser. I haven't played in a
I
while
have to be
now.
honest, of all the things that closed, I could see why that one should have maybe during COVID. Kind of a super spreader event. We have a lot of them running around, but I love it. I would say that's totally an American institution.
What do you think, Case? An American institution, they're changing it and ruining it.
Am I going to have to buy a subscription service to walk on the sidewalk now?
Wow.
Is that where we're at? Is $7.99 a month going to come out of my Capital One account because I choose to walk on the sidewalk?
Walking on the sidewalk. They're ruining one of America's finest institutions, and we'll tell you what that is. You can guess at 312-591-8300.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and today's fact that makes your brain go is something an American institution is being destroyed, and it's something that affects everybody. Sometimes you think of an institution, well, maybe it doesn't affect me. Nope, this one affects everybody listening. Being destroyed with a new thing, an update, if you will. And Kenzie thought it might be laser tag, an American institution changing something with the guns, possibly. Case thinks it's walking on the sidewalk will now be a subscription service.
And I do apologize. The people on the text line are like, don't give them any ideas. I'm sure there's some private equity firm that just heard that and went, we never even thought about the sidewalk.
Hey, are you crazy? That would never happen. They would just put it in your taxes. Stop it.
I'm sure it's already there.
Right. We've already been paying for this for 10 years.
Before we get to the fact, and we'll tell you what it is, what they're ruining, let's just think about that for a second. Can you imagine if there's a tier system for walking on the sidewalk? For example, if you walk longer than a half hour, it's going to be $7.99 a month. But if you only use the sidewalk 3 days a week, you can get a free week each month if you just pre-order for the whole year, $3.99 a month.
This is probably brought to you by the automotive industry. They want to get you in the car instead of on your feet.
Well,
ask questions, follow the money.
There's a lot to go unpack here for another day on the show, because the fact is that the American institution being ruined involves the game of Monopoly.
Oh, boy.
And the headline is this. And we talked about 14% of family members cheat at Monopoly in family gatherings, and we'll look forward to doing that at Easter. New Monopoly. So new Monopoly will eliminate cash and use a smartphone app. No banker. The app does everything. And everybody is, well, I should say the internet is very angry about this. So the new version is being released, and they're saying, of course, solving a problem no one asked for, that there won't be any math needed. So basically this app will help do all the calculations while you play Monopoly with the family. You don't need to trust someone with a banker. It's one of the most fun things in Monopoly. You sit down with like 4 people. Who's going to be the banker? Who do you trust? Boy, that sends your mind swirling with who you're going to trust. And also, the person that wants to be the banker usually is untrustworthy. And that's a very fun part of the game.
Getting lied to?
And stealing the money if you're the banker. You know?
I see. The thing is, I don't think this update should happen because it is fun to count the money and do that. However, whenever I was forced to be the banker, I would have so much preferred to use an app. I couldn't even focus on what I was doing because like counting everyone's money when they're laying down houses and hotels and keeping track of that, like I feel like I couldn't even roll the dice and play. I'm like, oh my God, this is a full-time job. I can't do this.
Kenzie, blink your eyes if you're okay. Who was forcing you to be a banker?
It was so stressful. I was not okay. It was like it felt like the humiliation rituals, what it felt like. I'm like, I can't count like this in front of everybody.
It was hazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't right, man.
So a smartphone or tablet will take over the banker role through Monopoly's app Banking, which keeps track of each player's money and properties. The game is expected to release this by August for $24.99 through the mobile app that will accompany. The app is going to be free, but the game will be $24.99.
Did you see this in there, Brian, that instead of places like Park Place and the Boardwalk in Monopoly, for this new version of Monopoly that has the app and you're not going to do math or anything, the most valuable properties on the board will be a rocket launch pad and the moon. Other properties will include a chocolate factory, a VR roller coaster, and a dinosaur park.
Okay, before everybody gets mad.
I'm already mad.
Okay, shush. There's already, there's already 18,000 versions of Monopoly. So to be like, no, Park Place is now going to be this. Yeah, but you can buy all the different sports versions. We have Cubs Monopoly. You can buy all this crap. It doesn't matter. There's already there's Disney Monopoly and Cubs Monopoly and Universal Monopoly and Marvel Monopoly. It's already happened.
I didn't know that, by the way. I didn't know there were that many different versions of Monopoly.
Oh my God. Everything you could ever think of, they've made a Monopoly version of it.
Is there a Pornhub Monopoly?
Why would there be that? Why is that your first thought?
That was my first thought. I'm not saying
you could take your Playboys and just cut out images and put them over top of everything.
Well, now we're really brainstorming here. Now we're finally getting
That's
somewhere.
American
Like a
innovation.
pop-up Monopoly, like when you undo the board,
Yep,
it jumps out at you.
Go on, Queen. Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
no,
going.
I think you could really, what would be get out of jail, like you're locked in the grotto and you have nurse or something.
Okay, I've got a project for after the show today.
Yeah.
Let's hold off on
Some
that.
arts and crafts.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the biggest problems, I guess, in America, and maybe our teachers can jump in on that, is the education system. Monopoly was created so you actually do math. So you actually have to think on your feet while you're getting properties. Which one's more valuable? Should I do this? Do I have enough money to buy this? Can I give this one up? Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. All those things. So you're taking that out. One more way to take some sort of education out of the fun part of life. And boy, are we going to have some really, really dumb people in a couple of years from playing this game. That's all I'm saying.
I'll tell you what, Monopoly actually mirrored some truths of the real world because my brother was a buyer. He'll buy. And I'm like, you have no money. You have $1 left. What can I buy with it? That was And later in life, he had a similar behavior and it didn't map out for him. Monopoly shows you some character traits sometimes.
Oh, it's probably the best board game that starts debate, argument, accusations, trust loss,
family ending,
everything. And that's what life's about. It teaches you about life and who you really can trust, which is really almost no one.
I mean, I become a bad person when I play Monopoly. I become this just staunch capitalist that will buy you out and spit you out, and I will end up winning or I will end up dying. Is the way that I look at Monopoly.
Have you ever flipped the board in disgust and walked away?
Many times. Many times.
My brother did that, and I swear to God, we got in a fist fight because I was winning. I swear to God.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Now, yesterday on the show, as it's become a bizarre theme of working David Draymond's vocals from Down with the Sickness into montages. It started a month ago at the Super Bowl, when I just casually recommended it would have been neat if maybe Disturbed joined Kendrick Lamar on stage for the halftime show. And Kendrick Lamar killed it, but I just like collabs. I just like them. And,
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
I think most people seem to because they keep requesting them. Now, here's what it started with a month ago, and it got David Draymond on the show and possibly talking with the people of Kendrick Lamar to actually do a song in real life. This is not a reality show. This is real. It's happening.
This is not a reality show.
Just because of this 25 seconds that I made, what it could have sounded like at the Super Bowl halftime show.
We get a witness. Yeah. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Down with the Texas.
Sit down. Be humble.
Down with the Texas.
Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Bitch, sit down.
Boy, that ages well. It's really good.
Ages well from a few weeks ago.
It's funny to say about your own work, too.
He acted like that played at like the sock hop or something. And it still stands up, man.
1959, the first mashup of Down with the Sickness.
Ahead of
with,
his time.
Kendrick Lamar, see? Now, what that led to, many montages, it led to this week, as Kenzie described her playing basketball, where she runs, stops, wiggles, and shoots. And it led to putting in David Draymond's vocals to Wiggle, Wiggle, Wiggle. Wonderful song.
You know what to do with that big fat butt. Oh, wow. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Shake it, girl. Just a little bit.
Shake what your mama gave you. Misbehave you.
That's the best one.
A lot to chew on there.
Yeah, I like it.
Hold your beer for a second. Because once we played Wiggle with Disturbed, somebody then, well, now you got to do the Wiggles.
And you love the Wiggles.
So I do love the Wiggles with having a 2-year-old. She loves the Wiggles. She comes home and it just asks so nicely, can we watch the Wiggles, Daddy? So, Kenzie, I'm not sure if you're in a Wiggles phase with knowing the song Fruit Salad.
No, that's just the song from hell, so I just know about it.
Well, I think a lot of parents out there might get triggered when they hear the first opening part of this, but by request, I only do what you want. The Wiggles versus Disturbed. This is the mashup that somebody did ask for it. Here you go.
It's the Wiggles. Wiggles.
Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy.
No, I'm sure the kids will love that. No questions.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. You know we're always here for you. And a lot of people DM all kinds of stuff. Really, sometimes disturbing things to Q101 on our Instagram.
Oh my God, where is this going?
But this one's not disturbing yet. So, yeah, that's where this is going, Kenzie. This is just someone looking for some relationship advice. And, you know, me and Kenzie are married. Case is almost married, I guess. Am I putting you out there too much or no?
Well, he's not even engaged.
Right, but you're living with someone for a year. You've been together 3?
2.5.
2.5?
I'd love to be almost married. That sounds fun.
Oh, maybe I opened up a can of worms there.
No, I'm all for it.
Okay.
What am I going to do? Find somebody else? I'm happy.
Don't say that while you're proposing.
Yes, I'm locked in.
That should be what you say when you propose. Would you marry me because what am I going to do? Find somebody else?
I tricked one. I can't get another one.
Yeah, no, and look her dead in the eye and go, I have found out this is the best that I can do.
Oh, God.
It'll go over really good.
These are phrases not to use when proposing. So one of our listeners DM'd us, and she said this. Ahoy, Brian and Kenzie. I fear I may be a bad person, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. So right now we're thinking, like, did she do something? Is she wrong? Mm-hmm. She says, is it wrong that I judge my boyfriend of a year and a half for something he does, and this is what he does.
He sings.
If only. No, the guy takes baths every night, but not just baths, big bubble baths, smelly candles, she says, and soft piano music in the background. Very bubbly bathy. He says he doesn't, quote, feel like himself until he's had bath time, which sounds like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't love the wording. Don't mind him doing it. Don't love that wording.
He is a 32-year-old man. I have a hard time respecting him as a man because he loves baths as much as he does.
Oh my God.
It makes it hard for me to be intimate with him because I look into his eyes, I visualize him just splashing around and playing with a rubber duck.
Oh, no.
Would I be crazy if I broke up with him and moved out because I hate how much he likes baths? And I'll leave that person anonymous right now. But I guess if the guy's listening too, he knows he's the guy.
Because what are the odds this is happening in another relationship?
Right. But she sent it to us and told us we could read it on the air. So I don't know what the listeners can chime in at 312-591-8300. Is this break-upable? Or really more importantly, does it you look at the person differently and you can't get past it? It's not your fault. You're not being a bad person, but you just can't look at him the same way anymore because he takes bubble baths every night.
I mean, she's not wrong for just like being attracted to things and not being attracted to things. It's just natural. I don't think it's bad that he takes baths, though. I envy anybody who can take a bath. Good for him. for being able to calm down. He's probably very in touch with his emotions, which is a great thing. I can't effing do it. I cannot sit in a bath. It gives me so much anxiety and stresses me out as I sit there and just like tap my fingers for all the stuff I should be doing.
That tracks.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
This is the woman who cries after she takes a nap.
Well, it
because she's
upsets
so
me that I
stressed out.
wasted so much time.
So much
But-
self-care you could be having and just not feeling guilty, Kenzie, like a bath and a nap.
But I do. I feel like a pile of crap if I do either of those things. Like I just feel like a horrible human being.
That's
so. Yeah. No, it's healthy.
I'm sure it's fine.
No,
Yeah.
I have no notes.
And that's it. That's the end of
There's
that
no
story.
bad
huh?
end. There's no bad ending here with this
No.
one.
But I envy him. I think it would be good if you had a partner who can slow down, breathe. I would imagine he honestly is really good to get in disagreements in because he probably can keep a cool head. He can stay level. You gotta look at the pros of what personality traits are coming with a guy who can take a bath.
But Kenzie, imagine getting into an argument with him before he's had his bath time. He's probably punching holes in the drywall before he has that bath. That's the problem.
I
think the
don't know
bath
if you can go
centers
to
him.
from. You think so, or do you think he's more like whiny?
He might be whiny.
He might be whiny.
He might be whiny.
Which I can deal with. There's a lot of whininess in our house. It's fine.
Right out of the gate, Joe texting from 630, run girl, dude's a serial killer.
But you know what's so funny about that? Is this why the text line is so great? 312-591-8300. The text underneath that is from Jeff that says, self-care, baby, don't hate.
Yeah.
And then the next one says he's a serial killer, run away.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like Kenzie on this where I'm jealous this guy can enjoy it so much because there's no way I'm taking a bubble bath and have Megan look at me the same way that I'm a guy. I'm a dude. I
What
can't
does
take
that
a
mean?
bath.
You can't take a bath because you're a guy?
A bubble bath with piano music and candles.
God forbid people take care of themselves.
Well, you know what? That's fine. You can take care of yourself and be alone because no one's going to look at you romantically again. I understand why she's lost the love of this guy. I get it. I understand. She's anonymous. I almost said her name right there. I understand why she's lost that sexiness. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kenzie, but women want a guy who's a little dangerous. They want some mystery. You wooed somehow at one point. They might not be that way once you're married, you have a kid, you get settled in. But the initial attraction to a guy is some kind of mystery, some brooding darkness. A bubble bath with a rubber duck and candles and piano music? Sorry.
Okay, let me tell you something. You want to date a guy who's dangerous and mysterious, you don't know what he's doing, you want to call me and see how that goes? It's not a fun time.
So far, we're having a great time. Megan's enjoying her life.
You're not dangerous.
I was dangerous at one
You're
point.
like dating a stuffed animal. There's nothing dangerous about you.
I am very huggable.
Exactly. You're not a concern.
That's because I'm soft in the middle. But I used to be a little dangerous.
You're so dangerous.
I used to wear a leather coat, a black leather
He's like,
jacket.
I used to eat 4 meals a day.
Someone said it's a big waste of water. Well, don't be a buzzkill on this thing. I mean, I guess it is a waste of water. We don't need environmentalists
Don't be
checking
so
in.
Everybody's allowed to check in, but
First off, I
environmentalists.
would argue that showering, if you're going to take like a 10-minute shower, that's dumping water the whole time. Like my mom takes baths every night. She is a bath taker. I can't do it. I can't sit still. I have no patience.
Yeah.
But I think showering, if you're a girl, because you got to wash your hair and shave and do all that, like you're probably in the shower for 10 or 15 minutes. That's just as much, if not more, water.
Well, listen, we've had an expert from People's Gas check in today. We could have a water expert check in and say, is it more water to fill a bathtub or to shower? If they want to check in. Besides everybody checking in on saying, and I really want to hear people on the phones on this one at 312-591-8300. A lot of great texts coming in. For example, 219 checked in, why doesn't she join him in the bath when he sees him in the bathtub every night?
So if she's already not attracted to him, I wouldn't suggest his body floating in bubbles isn't going to help.
And then she gets in and tries to ride him like an aircraft carrier. It's like,
I know, and he's like
Aircraft
playing.
carrier.
You don't want that.
check in here at 312-591-8300. Want to hear from you on this one. If she should break up with him because he takes nice bubble baths with candles and piano music. Not going to happen.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and that's Offspring, of course. We have Ticket Blitz Thursday going on. Hang out here for just about 10 minutes. We'll give you that keyword one more time. The last time you can use it this hour. Then a new keyword coming up at 9. You can enter every hour until we tell you to stop, and you've won. So keep entering for Offspring tickets all morning and all day long, every hour. Now, we brought up the listener that checked in and said her boyfriend of a year and a half takes bubble baths. And it's one thing to go in and take a bath. Takes a bubble bath with candles, piano music, and allegedly a rubber ducky. and she's kind of lost that oomph for him, and she's wondering if she's a bad person if she breaks up to him over this because he's not going to stop doing this. So people are texting in. Kenzie, do you have one from one of our
We
listeners?
have a great text suggestion. This is so smart. They said they need to get a hot tub. If he wants to soak and unwind every night, I think a hot tub shouldn't give her like an ick. It's not like floating in a bubble bath. Like that's a good solution. Now he's just hot tubbing, and like men be hot tubbing, right?
That's funny what Brian said at 847. He goes, so Brian, if he adds Jess to the tub and call it a hot tub, is that macho manly enough for you? Brian, it is, I guess.
Right.
But there can't be a rubber ducky. There can't be bubbles. There can't be piano music. I want something like 311 on when we're in the bathtub, in the hot tub. And the jets have to be full blast and really hot. And also, there needs to be a screen above the hot tub with ESPN on.
Okay, stop designing your house.
This sounds like an HGTV episode.
You're not talking to an architect.
Yeah, it needs a TV with ESPN on above the tub. That's the only way I'm going to accept it. Okay,
But I think a hot tub's a really good solution for this couple.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the difference between a hot tub and a bath. They're the same thing. You're sitting in water.
Well, no, but the hot tub has a little bit more level of coolness.
Why? Who said that hot tubs are cooler than bathtubs?
Well, first off, you still need a shower if you get out of a hot tub, so you still should wash your body. Please don't count that as your bath.
I don't think that's true.
No, it is because you don't know.
It's definitely true. There's chemicals.
Because the water keeps getting recycled.
Yeah.
If you do
But
stuff in there.
So does all water. We're drinking the same water that Jesus drank. Every bit of water is recycled.
Good Lord. That's pretty terrifying.
I don't know if we're
New
drinking
water.
Jesus' water.
No, there's no new water.
So my bottle.
There's new water. It rains.
But that's all recycled. It's the water cycle.
Because it evaporates from the down here and goes up there, is what he's saying.
Well, that's kind of a range, but okay. It's like it's still new. It's not like the same raindrops. Like, whoop, let me do this again.
No. There's nothing different between a bathtub and a hot tub, and we're all using the same water that it rained on Jesus with.
Anyways, there's chemicals in the hot tub that you need to get off of your penis.
Which
Get
could
it
have
off.
which could have had Jesus water on your penis.
That's right.
It could have all been there.
Well, wash off in Jesus' shower.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We have some comedian Tom Papa tickets coming up at the end of music and entertainment news for you. But first, let's get into it. Some really cool special show coming to Ravinia. And it's Beck going on tour, but he's going to play with an entire orchestra for just a few dates in the country. And one of them is at Ravinia, so it'll be 7 is July, right? 7/23.
7 is July, yes. I thought you were talking in Morse code for a second.
Well, Kenzie taught us that brown is Thanksgiving.
Oh, boy.
Yes, it is.
And 7 is July. So Highland Park, Ravinia with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra on July 23rd. That'll be pretty wild. I picture some bands with a symphony and have done it, like Metallica's done it, and there's some other bands have done things with symphonies. Beck with a symphony sounds, I don't know, a little weird to me. But I'm here for it. I'll go check it out.
It sounds like a fun time. It's funny to think that the guy who wrote Loser is now playing with a beautiful orchestra behind him. Just what an amazing career arc that is.
Like, it reminds me when Cypress Hill and the Simpsons played with an orchestra.
Yes, and now they did that for real last year with the London Symphony Orchestra.
It was good.
Yeah.
Orchestras are good, man. They don't play that music.
I probably should have had this prepped in here, but the Simpsons and Cypress Hill.
Hold on, Kenzie. What did you just say about orchestras?
You
Because they can really play. You're being haters. They can really play that.
I am not being a hater. I've never heard it so eloquently said. Orchestras, they play that music.
Okay. They play their little hearts out.
They
Let's
do.
go.
Not saying anything about the quality. They are certain people that have dedicated their life to the violin or whatever, and it's a tremendous thing. But I just think it's a little weird with Beck. Like, here's Cypress Hill on the Simpsons episode. So good.
Hello, bands. Who is playing with the London Symphony Orchestra? Come on, people. Somebody order the London Symphony Orchestra. Possibly while high. Cypress Hill, I'm looking in your direction.
Hey, man, did we order an orchestra? What's up with this orchestra, man? Where'd the orchestra come from?
I don't know, man.
You didn't tell me about this, man. We gotta do something. Oh, yeah, we think we did. Do you know Insane in the Brain?
We mostly know classical, but we could give it a shot.
Now this I like.
Marge going this way.
Go, Marge.
That was for what, the Lollapalooza, the Simpsons Palooza one or whatever, Springfield Palooza?
Yes, yeah. Billy Corgan also does a guest appearance on that episode because Homer Simpson introduces himself. And Billy Corgan goes, "Hi, I'm Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins." And Homer goes, "Hi, Homer Simpson, smiling politely." It's just an exchange that lives in my head every day.
Oh, my God. So back at Ravinia. Have you ever been to Ravinia, Kenzie, for a show?
I have not. I've been to Ravinia themed nights though.
Where are those at?
There's like certain venues that do have like lawn, and they'll do like Ravinia night, and you can like bring a wine and cheese basket. And they'll hire like Seventh Heaven or whatever to play. I've done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
My first thing I ever did when I moved to Chicago in my 20s, I got invited by this girl was taking me and my brother around town to show at the city. Went to Ravinia for Poi Dog Pondering. Now, it's a band that is very big, Chicago. Boy, I couldn't stand them. I was out on Poi Dog Pondering. And I know there's some Poi Dog Pondering fans out there that love it. Wasn't for me. But you sit there in the lawn area, like you said, and you drink wine and eat sandwiches. These girls made sandwiches. I'm like, this is wild. I couldn't even see the band because you're in that long grass area. But
Right.
it's so, if you love a band and it's going to Ravinia, it's a really cool experience, and they're remodeling it up there. I think a $70 million
I've only
remodel.
gone to faux Ravinia.
You need to go to real Ravinia.
I've only gone to knockoff Ravinia. It's crazy.
Knock off Ravinia. All right, today is the 3-year anniversary. I cannot believe it has been 3 years since this happened. And it happened actually last night 3 years ago, and then today we were talking about it. Can you believe it's the 3-year anniversary of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars? Can you believe it's been 3 years for that?
Feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Well, here's what it was. Here's what it sounded like.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Will Smith gets up.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
Richard, that's what we call that.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
My wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
I'm going to.
We've moved on from the joke, Will. We're in a new stage, a new phase of this. What are you doing?
When the amplification of his voice got to like my dad did when he yelled at me, that's when I got chills on my arms and like.
Well, so did Chris Rock. I fully believe Chris Rock still thought it was a joke after the slap until Will started yelling at him. I still think he thought like that he took a joke, that Will Smith took a joke too far or something, right?
Yes.
And then when he started yelling is when everyone's like, oh, wait, he's mad.
Wait, he's mad.
He was mad.
But you know what I mean? Like, even watching, you're like, oh, snap. And then you're like, oh, my God, he's mad.
Yeah.
Like, it was so disturbing. It was so uncomfortable.
It was very, that scream, I get that PTSD from when my dad would be mad at me and yell. I go, oh, my God, I'm going to. Whatever you say. The slap.
I still feel bad for Chris Rock. You literally, in front of so many people that you admire and have looked up to, you get physically abused, and then that man receives an award on the stage a few hours later instead of, I don't know, being arrested.
Right. I agree.
Sick.
And also, boy, Chris Rock can take a slap.
Yeah.
He just stood there and took it from a guy who's like 6 inches taller than him and works out all the time. He's huge. And just took that slap and kept moving. It was not a light slap. It was he wound up. Like, that arm was back here.
And he's strong. Will Smith is strong.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen him train for I Am Legend and such. He's a strong man.
Case has now seen I Am Legend. He's strong.
Yeah, I'm too distracted by the dog scene to think about I Am Legend. But
No.
he was strong in that movie.
No.
Listen, it's still messing me up. And you know what got me? What really got me about this whole thing is Jada's ass coming out like the next day being like, I was so embarrassed. I can't believe he did. Oh, come on. For the love of God, if you don't stand by this man after that, like, just to add to the ridicule, she is the worst. She doesn't even ride in the car. Ride or die. She won't even get in the car or buckle a seatbelt or anything. She leaves this man for dead every day, and I hate it.
Well, when you zapruder the film, when you see what happened, like, she was kind of looking at him like, you going to do anything about this joke?
Right.
About my hair?
Period.
About alopecia? It's not funny. Okay, I'm going to get up there. What am I going to do? I don't know. Bam! Slap Chris Rock in the face in front of everybody. And then the ratings shot through the roof because everybody, I wasn't watching it actually at that time. Everybody texted everybody, did you see what just happened? And then It was like the NHL Nations hockey fight a few
little
weeks
bit,
ago.
yeah.
Everybody started watching it after that. All right, so 3-year anniversary of that. Also, a little more music entertainment news on the entertainment side. I love this headline. Ben Affleck would love, quote, another chance with ex-wife Jennifer Gardner if, quote, the timing is right. Anybody talk to Jennifer Gardner about this? Is she in on this at all? She's a peach.
I would also love a chance with Jennifer Gardner if the time is right.
Honestly,
Good job,
I would so much prefer you were with Jennifer Garner. Like, I would so much more want that for her.
I'd love it. She's on the farm in those commercials. I'll help out. I don't mind.
I love Jennifer Garner. She is a little cherub angel. She is so kind. And I do love Ben Affleck, but it's like his sole purpose was to be put on the earth to ruin her life. Leave her alone. And I really like him. He's very talented. He's funny. He's all these. Leave her alone. I don't even know if the kids need you at this point. Just get out of their lives. He has drug her through the mud. I mean, just with his ex-wife, like that, that lasted 4 seconds. Jennifer Lopez. They had
That lasted 4 seconds.
They had the nerve to put out that documentary where she was like, "Oh, he said that he never fell in love with me." I mean, he was married to Jennifer Garner for like 13 years and had multiple kids. That was the most evil thing to put out there. And now you divorce her and you're like, you know who I should try my shot with? Get away from her. She needs to wear a crucifix at all times.
You know what the evilest thing he ever did? And I love Ben Affleck and all. He's an incredible actor in a great movie.
I just don't love him for her. That's the problem.
Here's what he did that was evil. He went to her house when LA was burning and said, "Can I come in? Because my house is burning down." Hey, big fire out here. You know that whole cheating thing? But I know, but I'll stay in the kitchen. I won't bother you. It's hot out here.
This dude's awesome.
It's
He's playing
super
chess.
hot.
Remember
Super
when I
hot.
ruined our family and our life and I'm the reason we don't live together in the first place? Can I move in? Mira, Go live with the woman you never fell out of love with would have been my response.
Yep. My shoes are really on fire here. Can you just please open the door?
No.
Please.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.